Upper Sandusky Community Library's Crafternoon. My name is Rachel and I'll be helping you make this month's craft our Yay for the USA sign. So if you've already stopped at the library and picked up your craft pack, grab some scissors, your glue gun, and let's get started. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to take out your chipboard letters and stars, our USA and your stars. We're going to get these painted up. So I've got a white star painted here, and what you'll notice when you paint this chipboard is that it sucks up the paint, let me tell you. So the white stars, you're really going to need 3 coats if you want a great coverage. 2 if you might want a little more rustic look, but I went for 3 on mine. And when you're painting, make sure you get the edges all along here and get it all on there. I know this is a small brush. If you have a bigger brush at home, it may be a little quicker for you. So I did my stars in white, and I just did a red, white, and blue for the USA. And again, you can pick that out however you want to do it. On our example, I just went straight red, white, and blue down for the words there. So after you get your letters painted, or while you're waiting for them to dry, 3 coats on the white if you want a good coverage. You can set those aside to dry. And the next thing you're going to want to do is you take out your strips of construction paper here. Got these big ones. All we're going to do is just going to fold it in half long ways. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're not going to see the bottom. So yay for imperfection. I'm so great at that. Alrighty. Then once you have it folded in half just like that, we're just going to snip off about 1 inch from the end, which I've already done here. And then you can just fold it back open. We're only going to need half of this. So just cut that. This is going to be the base for our fireworks. Now, you can call them flowers or fireworks. It really depends on how you want to sell it. But I'm going to say that these are fireworks for 4th of July. So, to make our fireworks, we've got our paper that's cut in half, and you cut off the end. Now what we're going to do, on the folded end, so on this end here, not on the floppy end, we're going to cut very thin lines, almost all the way down to the bottom. You want to leave just enough room so you're not cutting it off. So just very thin, and about, I would say maybe 1/8 of an inch. You can see it a little bit better on here. You see how thin those are? Maybe. Just like that, real thin. The thinner they are, the more kind of explosive look they'll have. So do that all the way down the end until it looks all cut up. Remember, don't go all the way through though. So once you have this all sliced up, and you'll do those on the 2 red strips and the blue strip. Once you get that going, you're just going to start folding this up. So just start on one end and just begin to roll it in on each other. And you may have to control the end if it starts to go kind of like wonky, like when you're rolling up a carpet or something. Just push it back in there. Another thing you can do if you want it so it doesn't roll up so difficultly, that's a very bad word, it's so difficult to roll up, you can always do a string of hot glue along the bottom to seal that. I'm just going for the rough and ready method here. So just roll that all up, all the way down. And you see it's getting nice and thick, fluffing out there. You don't have to roll it really tight. So you can do it as loose or as tight as you want. I did mine kind of halfway, because if it's real tight, then your firework is going to be kind of real tight and narrow. If it's a little looser, it kind of spreads out a little bit more. So again, it's just how you like it. So get it all rolled up, and here, see how that is. Just like that. Now what we're going to do with that other little piece, all we're going to do is take that piece, take your glue gun, and you're just going to squirt the glue gun, or squirt your glue on the bottom of your firework, and then you're just going to attach this piece of paper. That'll just make it easier for us when we glue it onto our tin plate. So get it on there. Then once that dries, if you want to, you can trim it up a little bit so you can't see quite as much. I just kind of round it off the corners, just like that, so you can see how it is. And you'll see on our blue one here, that was a little more tightly wound Now once it's all wound up and you've got your base glued on, we're just going to fluff it. So just pull your pieces of firework, I don't know, pieces of firework, yeah, you know what I mean. Pull each little petal or firework out and down. So you're just kind of fluffing it all out. And if you want to, you can kind of stick your finger in between there to kind of give it a little bit more volume. So you just fluff it up as much as you like. And you can see on our example, the one on the bottom was wrapped kind of loosely, and that kind of gave it a little bit more explosion, and the blue one a little bit tighter. So it's really how you want it. And you can do it in different sizes so they look, have a little bit more interest. So get those all three done, and you can set those aside and get those ready to glue. Now once your stars and your letters are glued, what you'll want to do is you'll take your plate, and if you'll notice on mine, where I did my letters is a little crooked from where my hanger hole is. So as I tell you to do it, I did not do it this way the first time, and it was a little crooked. So if you don't mind looking at it like that, do it this way. If you want to have a more upright view, go ahead and put your string in first. What I mean by that is take your blue ribbon, and we're going to cut off a little bit on the end. If you see, I put a couple little dangles down here underneath our fireworks. So I think it ends up being about 6 or 7 inches. So just take your scissors, cut off 6 or 7 inches there, and set this guy aside. Now, when you thread this ribbon through the hole, be very careful, because on the back side, it is rough from where I drilled the holes. So go in from the front, and be careful when you're pulling it through on the other side, because it is sharp. So just kind of fold your ribbon in half and stick it through the hole and grab it from the back. Again, be very careful with the pokey side. Then just pull it through, tie a knot at the top like that. And then once your knot is tied, we're just going to pull that through so that's on the back side. Pull it tight, and then just pull that down so it stays behind it. And if you have some tails that stick up, you can just give those a trim too. Like that. And there we are. I get it pulled right. And so you have it ready to go. An option, if you're not going to hang this, is to tie this ribbon into a bow. So if it's going to be something that you're going to like put on a book stand or one of those photo holders, and just put it on your table for maybe 4th of July table display. You can always create a bow instead of a hanger. It's really up to you. So now that you have this to kind of give your an eye line, I did my letters, as you can see, on a diagonal. Now you can do them straight across, whatever way, again, that suits you. And what you're going to do is you're going to adhere those with your glue gun. And the same with your stars. Again, my stars, I just kind of offset the fireworks. So it's really how you want it. You can get as creative as you like, or you can do it this way. So glue your letters on first, because that kind of gives you an idea of where to position the rest of your items. So glue these on. I did my stars next. And also in your bag, you notice there's some gold stars in there. What I did with mine is I just added a couple down here on the bottom and one at the top, just to bring some gold on this side. And then I put some of the stars in the fireworks, just to add a little bit of golden sparkle on that side. Again, this is one of those crafts where there's no hard and fast rules other than paint it and roll it and do what you will. So you get the letters on, your stars on, then position your fireworks. And again, having those little bases that we glued on earlier really helps getting it to stay where you want. And once you have those on there, you can give them another fluff to make them explode a little bit more. And, oh, I forgot. Before you put your bottom one on, wherever you want it, that ribbon that we set aside, that 6 or 7 inches, I just cut that in half. And then cut a little V in the bottom. You know how you do on ribbons, how you see them. Just a little V, just so it doesn't look so boring at the bottom. All right. And then underneath that last one, I glued this down first and then put the, well, I guess this looks better. Then just put this on top of it. That way you can have a little bit of action going on that other side of the plate, and to bring the blue ribbon down over there. Again, if you like the ribbon, put it. If you don't like it, just go with how you feel. This is your 4th of July. So here we have it. This is our Yay for the USA Crafternoon sign. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next month. Have a wonderful day.